The Golf 92 is the first and only game developed and published by GO1. It can be a pretty game. They really like that special effect of scaling the ball up and down. But it also plays horribly. I was genuinely surprised that a golf game would be this bad. Nintendo figured out the genre in 1984. How did they manage to get it so wrong? The Golf 92 offers 3 modes of play: Stroke, where you're just playing for the lowest score, Match, where you're playing to win each hole, and a Practice mode, where you just play by yourself. If you're playing single player, then you pick out a character, and then you pick out a character that you're going to play against. Obviously, I chose the coolest person because he was wearing sunglasses. And then you choose the difficulty, which affects wind strength, how the green slopes, and how well computer opponents play. On easy, the greens are perfectly flat, and all you have to worry about is the power of your shot. Then you hit the links to play one course of 18 holes. When you take a shot, you've got a map on the left-hand side of some of the blockiest fairway designs I've ever seen. And the number in the upper right-hand corner tells you, it's distance, that's for sure. But I don't know if it's distance to the pin or distance to the green. In fact, a lot of the information that you get in Golf 92 doesn't seem to be accurate. On easy mode, the wind is always indicated to be moving at 1 meter. But there's enormous variability in the shots, so either it's displaying the wind power incorrectly, or shot power is highly randomized, and both of those are pretty bad. What I wound up doing is adding about 30 yards to that number in the upper right-hand corner for my estimate of how far I had to shoot. Then you choose where you want to strike the ball. This seems to be perfunctory and have no effect on its actual path. Both topspin and backspin did absolutely nothing while I was playing. After that, you choose your shot power, which is a bar that increases to the top and then cycles all the way to the bottom again. Yes, that means if you want to take a full-strength shot, you are risking taking a no-strength shot. Not slightly less power, it's all or nothing. Finally, you have this bar that bounces back and forth to determine how well you strike the ball. It's trivially easy to always get it in the good shot range. I noticed that the power bar doesn't seem to be linear. 100% power is 100%, but if you go halfway up the bar, it seems to be more like 30% power. It makes the Golf 92 frustrating to play, but it's also not very difficult. Okay, now part of that is that I'm playing the greens on easy, but the course isn't difficult at all, except for a handful of holes at the very end. I was shooting under par for most of it, until the variable strength of my shot made me shoot out of bounds 3 times, as every time I adjusted it a little bit further to avoid going out of bounds, my next shot with the exact same power and striking position went that much further to go out of bounds again. There isn't a lot of variation in the course design. Even the original Nintendo Golf had better hole layouts than this. And for people who are so clearly proud of their game's graphics, the shot renderings rarely match what's happening. It might get the broad strokes correct, there's a tree to the right of you, or a bunker in the distance, but the details are all wrong. They also didn't seem to really map out the course particularly well. You can land near the green and be considered on the green, and shots that are clearly in the rough wind up on the fairway. The visuals are just another example of information being presented very poorly in the Golf 92. Needless to say, this is not a popular game in Japan. Though the 2 people I found commenting on playing it were divided. One of them liked it because it was easy and had graphical flourishes, and the other hated it because it was easy and a bad golf game. And those fancy shot graphics are really the only thing that the Golf 92 has going for it. Actually playing it is a total mess. I realize that nobody's actually going to go back and play these old sports games, outside of maybe 2 or 3. So there isn't much chance nowadays of people falling for the Golf 92's promise of extra special graphics. But if you really wanted to play golf on the Famicom, you could pick just about any other golf game and have a better time.